Hey FLOSSTUBE, it's Leigh from Creative Leigh on Sunday the 20th of February 2022 with FLOSSTUBE number 113. Welcome back to all of my lovely subscribers and frequent viewers, and oh gosh, I forgot to write someone's name down, and you sent me a message saying you've been watching recently and you're starting with FLOSSTUBE number 1, so all power to you. Good luck, I guess. And I go through a few darkish moments there in 2020, particularly with COVID, pandemic, lockdown, my dad being quite ill and stuff. So hang in there, but there is lots of stitching and lots of finishes. So pace yourself. So yeah, welcome to any new or newish people to my channel. It's predominantly about cross stitch, but I do throw in some life stuff because after all, I'm a person with a life in a particular context. And that is me in Upper Hutt in the Wellington region of New Zealand. So what's been going on? It's been a week. I guess on Tuesday morning, my Auntie Claire passed away. So some of you who've watched recently will know I went to Taranaki a couple of weekends ago to visit with friends and family, but predominantly just to see my Auntie Claire, who was not well, and I don't know, it's been a bit up and down the last few weeks, but ultimately she passed away. So she's been really ill with chronic obstructive respiratory disease, or CORD, which is emphysema for people who don't know what that is, or commonly called emphysema. And she's the 4th sister in my mum's family to pass from this, including my mum. And she was my mum's twin. So she has a special place. She was not quite 75. She would have been 75 in March. And yeah, so my heart goes out to my cousin Tanya. There was no funeral. Claire didn't want a funeral, so she's had a private cremation, and yeah, we'll just remember her for the person that she was, and I guess take comfort that she's no longer in a lot of pain and suffering. But yeah, that was pretty kind of, not unexpected, but sudden, if that makes sense. It's kind of weird anyway. You're never ready. I then had one of my stepbrothers, my youngest stepbrother Mark, and his partner Penny were up from Christchurch having a bit of a holiday, but they stayed with me on Thursday night, and we went out for dinner on Thursday night to Olive Cafe, and they stayed the night, and then they headed north in the morning. And then got wind that my other stepbrother, Blair, his mother-in-law passed away on Thursday evening after, I guess, a brief but sudden illness following surgery. So, yeah, it's all been a bit odd. We seem to be, anyway, it's just, yeah, it's been a week. I caught up with Judith briefly on Saturday morning. I had a couple of appointments, and one of them was in Trentham Park where she lives, and went to visit her and meet her little kittens, and they're so cute. So I got some little kitten love, and she has made me a pomegranate bag. A few weeks ago I mentioned I needed a pomegranate bag if anyone had seen one, and she made me one, and it's a William Morris print, and I love it. Pomegranates and lemons, I guess. And it's my first bag with the gold zip and the gold flower charm, and so much. It's just got a lovely bold red on the inside. So this is now going to have a pomegranate chart in it all the time. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a shuffle around, because at the moment my pomegranate sampler is in the wrong bag. So what's not in this bag, and I've got like a really, I guess, a reproduction-y kind of, no I don't, vintagey samplers in a skate roller skate bag, so I need to shuffle things around. But anyway, thank you, Judith. I love this so much. Every time I get a new Judith bag, I'm like, this is my favourite, but this might be my favourite. So it's always got to have a pomegranate chart in it. So that was exciting. I then went, yesterday evening, I went into Wellington. I stayed with my friends, Dwayne and Richard, and Richard cooked me a birthday dinner. So I guess the birthday month is almost ending. But we had just not been able to get together before now, and we were going to go out for dinner, and he decided he'd rather stay home and cook. He likes cooking, but also he's a school teacher, so he doesn't want to be. He's just been cautious about with COVID in the community and stuff, and not being the one that takes it back into the school, ideally, if and when that happens. And they had no water yesterday, so he cooked a 3-course meal with no running water. It did come on about 9:30 p.m. There was some infrastructure issue that had to be resolved that took out about 5,000 homes. No, 5,000 people. I don't know, 4 suburbs, and that was exciting. So we had all the bottled water out and all the emergency water out so we could flush the loos and stuff. So it was very exciting. I had a start and finish last week, start number 4 I think it was, for my 50 at 50, which was Alpha Lounging, and then Karen had gifted me this chart and she was happy for me to pass this on. So I had asked for people to type L is for something and I searched for that and I picked a winner, and here is the winner on screen. Congratulations, Laura. Laura, what a cracker. I picked your name out, and Laura's going to stitch this for herself, so good on her. So Laura, I might have your address, but probably safer just to flick me your address again in my emails in the doobly-doo. So just flick me an email with your address and I'll get that into the post probably this week if I go near a post office. But yeah, congratulations. Happy to pass that on. So, what else came in new? I have signed up for a sale that I probably won't stitch for quite a while. I may not even stitch it till I've got all of the charts. And I don't even know if I've got a picture for you. It was a mystery sale from urbanstitches.co.uk, and it's That Which Does Not Kill Us. And I'll give you the front page. So you can go to their website. I think you can also go to Etsy, but I just bought off their website. So it's a UK That Which Does Not Kill Us, which, you know, there's various iterations of the quote, like that which does not kill you only makes you stronger, or if it doesn't kill you it can only make you stronger, or variations of that. I can't remember the original quote. However, because I have a thing for Bruce Willis, I've always been a bit of a Bruce Willis fan. This is where I come out of the Bruce Willis closet if I've never come out of there before. Since Moonlighting, and then The Return of Bruno, the mockumentary. I think I might have mentioned it a while ago. I don't know. But anyway, so some of you may not know that Bruce Willis has a couple of albums out. And back in the 80s, I mean, I was just in love with Bruce Willis. And I actually still have the cassette tapes. I have no means to play the cassettes. I know Judith does. I have since bought these from iTunes, so I have them digitally as well. But first of all, we had Bruce Willis, The Return of Bruno. This accompanied the mockumentary film that you can see on YouTube if you look for it. And it's like, I mean, look at him. Oh my God. Can you see why I was in love with him when did this come out? Fucking moths are gonna fly out of this. 1987. 15. So when I was 15, I had posters of Bruce all over my walls, and along with like Aha and Wham and Duran Duran. Cringe. So Return of Bruno, and then he followed it up with a very cool, oh no, I also liked Garfield. I got Garfield stickers on everything. What was Garfield's teddy bear called? Pookie? Oh, promise this is about cross-stitching, but anyway. And then he brought out, his second album was If It Don't Kill You, It Just Makes You Stronger. So because I'm a Bruce Willis fan, I just have to do the quote. So And this one, so anyway, this one is when he was still married to Demi, and she even sings on one of the tracks. She sings on Blues for Mr. D, and she sings the Bye Bye Babies at the end. That's how obsessed I am. Anyway, so, That Which Does Not Kill Us. I don't even know what it was about, I just signed up for it. So there's all the details about the size and the thing and the where to get it and the, you know, the urbanstitches.co.uk. I'll show you a little sneak of it. It's largely a black work. Here I am, I'm not doing any more black work this year. It's largely black work. And it has a big frame, which the frame was sort of released when you purchased it, and then sort of every 2 out of 3 weeks there's another little chart released until August 26th. There's some extras that are released. That is the end of it. So it's going to go through a couple of 2 or 3 weeks on and a week off kind of thing, so you get to sort of catch up. And I'll just show you a sneak of what the first bit looks like charted. So this just shows you the placement of so the frame was released in December, and then the first part was released, this is the first part. So basically it's this frame which says, you know, That Which Does Not Kill Us, and essentially each of these are going to be they are little jars of poisonous herbs with the names and things, so it's quite cool. I don't know. I just bought it. It wasn't that expensive, and I thought it would be fun. But I'm just gonna keep printing off the charts until I'm ready. Can't really put it in pattern keeper because it's all backstitch, so largely backstitch. And I have ordered a few bits of fabric from the UK. Hopefully one of them will suit this, so I'm just gonna keep collecting them. But that's just the new chart basically. That was like 7 minutes to tell you all about that. I got my Silks for You silk in this week. So I'm in 2 clubs. One is Colour of the Month, which is 4 skeins of 15 metres from the standard Silks for You range. And we got these colours this month. I mean, this is a lovely deep. I wonder if I might end up subbing for a couple of projects. But anyway, I'll tell you what they are. We got one PR172, this jade sort of green. PR171 is this very bright variegated. PR132. It's that lovely tealy blue, and PR140, which is another variegated one, but more muted sort of tones. Like, I guess it's what I would call the dirty tones of this one. These are a little bit more bright and these are a little bit more muted, which I like. So they came in, and then the Silks of the Month, which is 5 skeins of 10 metres, dies just for the club, and they're just numbered 1 through 5, and very useful. 5 sort of lovely warm neutrals from a beige. It's probably looking a little blown out with the light. A beige through to this sort of mid brown through caramels, so that's really useful to have some nice browns in the mix. So they came in. What did I stitch on this week, and what are the plans for the next few weeks? So I stitched on 2 projects. I had my new start, which start 5 of 50 was Gentleman's Daughter, Plum Street samplers. I have a few Plum Streets in the box, so I thought I should get cracking on one. And I'm stitching this on 36 count sand from Victorian Motto Sampler Shop using a partial conversion. So I think there's like 3 colours are called for. And actually even one of the called for I'm using for a replacement for the white. So I started this last Sunday on the 13th of February. And I stitched this pretty monogamously for about 4 days. And of course I got a decent amount done. That's where we're at with that. So I'm a bottom up starter. So we've got a big ass house that's in here. that I'll leave for next time, and I'll probably start and do all the windows, and then I can just stitch back and forward and fill in with the colour. And then above is there's a couple of chimneys with some smoke, and then a whole random lot of sort of, I could just show you the picture, stars. So yeah, that's what's still to come, those sort of quilt stars and stuff above the above it. But yeah, I'm really happy. So most of the colours you see are conversions, they're not called for. I think that path might be called for. I don't think that is, no, the path is not called for, it's a substitution, it's way more variegated. Anyway, that's where, this is the only colour that's called for so far, is in here, is in the words. I'm really happy with it. So that is a decent start on start number 5. So I'll be able to put that away now. And then I thought I should pick back up start number 1, which was on my birthday, Come to the Garden by Teresa Kogut, which I'm stitching on 40 count beige from Weeks Dye Works. Again, started that on my birthday, 18th of January, and it was start 1 of 50. And this is, I haven't written on here, it's mostly called for. There's 2 or 3 colours and not, like the main red is a Victorian motto that I had, you know, a big skein of, so I subbed that. And last time you saw, since you saw it, I finished the words, the bottom and the little flowers in that bottom section. I've started that pot and I've got all the vine in for that first pot, and I stitched 2 more of these. So I figure every time I pick it up, if I stitch two or 3 of the border fill in, then it won't drive me nuts, because it is mostly repetitive. Not each, there are some slight variations in a lot of the little wedges sections. They're not all identical, but they're close enough. These ones are the same, but these flowers do vary slightly, the leaf shapes and stuff. Yeah, so I thought every time I pick it up, if I stitch again a couple of those, I'll get them done pretty, you know, without having to repeat myself too many times, and then work on a motif. So next time I hope to do 2 or 3 more, fill in on the border, and finish that pot, all the flowers and foliage on that pot at least. But yeah, a little bit more done on that, so it's nice to pick that up having only stitched on it that first week. That's all I've stitched on this week, which is, you know, not quite a bit really. So, and what are my plans? So I've got the next sort of 3 weeks planned out, and my start today is going to be start number 6, and you're gonna crack up. So you may recall that start number 4 was going to be Panoply of Peacocks, and then I went to start it and I realised, well, I thought I hadn't worked out the sizing right, and I thought that I had ordered the wrong size fabric. So I sat down at the weekend, so I thought a fat quarter of 40 count from Country Stitch was not enough, because I'd worked out that I needed 17 by 22 inches to give me a 5-inch border. I needed 17 by 22 inches of 40 count, and I had the card that said I had 19.7 by 14 inches, as in well, I didn't even think that says it's a fatter. Anyway, I have a fat quarter, and I think that poor old Catherine had written the wrong measurement down on the card, and I never measured the fabric. A fat quarter's plenty. I have a fat quarter, but on the card, because it said a fat 1/8 measurements, and I didn't even think about it. Anyway, I freaking have enough fabric. Like, talk about a triple, I think it's like a 3 blonde moment, like honestly 3 layers. So just as well, because this is a huge piece of fabric, this fat quarter, it's 40 count, so I do have enough. I just obviously wasn't meant to start it 2 weeks ago. So we are now going to do Teresa, we're going to start Tempting Tangles Designs, Panoply of Peacocks, on my massive fat quarter of 40 count silver fern from Country Stitch with my, oh, this is going to make you cry, how I've run out of floss rings. They don't have any at the stationery store, with my own silk conversion, and I'm starting that today. And I have enough fabric for a 3-inch border, but I'll probably only do a 2.5. But I don't even know what happened. So yeah, that's going to be start number 6 of 50. I'm starting that today, 2 weeks after I was going to start. So excited about that. Then I think the week after, I won't start something on Sunday because I'll start an autumn piece on the 1st of March, and that falls in the week. And I will be starting a project that is not going to be finished this year. It's going to be one of the Teresa Kogut Carousel Horses. So the fall one or the autumn one. So at this stage is going to be that start. So Teresa Kogut to fall, and I'm just stitching it with all the called for. So I've got 32 count cream linen. That is going to have, I've got all the flosses, including any blends already pulled and written all the symbols down, so the blends are all done. I've got all of the runic that I need, so pretty much that is been kitted up, has been kitted up for ages. Everything's already symboled. I've stitched 3 Teresa Kogut before, and this works for me, having everything with the symbols. So yeah, and I have them in numerical order, and sort of I've got them in order of how they appear on the chart with the blends. So yeah, that should be, I mean, you know, how much am I going to get started, right? I don't know, it's a lot, but I'm excited to stitch a Teresa Kogut after you know, quite a few years of not having had one, and I've always wanted to stitch these Carousel Horses. It's funny because I don't even like horses, and when I was a kid I hated going on the merry-go-round I was terrified of it, so I don't even know why, but they're beautiful, and it's more about the fact that I love this shit. I love her complicated charting, like her blends and her, you know, 100 million quarter stitches, and she's good. She's good at foliage. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. So that will be the start the week after. First day of autumn will be that one. And then probably the week after this, that if Christine's ready, I am going to stitch one of these new ones that I've got. This was a free chart. I think we've talked about it a few weeks. Christine and I are going to do a start along with this. We're both doing our own colourway. She's doing a larger piece, a larger count that she's just got a dyer in fabric, and she's picked a lovely rose palette, and I have done my own conversion. I showed you some colours last week, or some of the stitch palettes that I thought I might use, and I finally picked one, and I'm going to use the Bed of Roses from Stitch Palettes. So I'm using all of those 6 colours, and I've added in a number 7 beige as well, just to give it a bit of a break from the intensity of it. There are 7 symbols on the chart. 2 of the symbols are the same colour. I have separated mine, so the 2 dark browns, so 3371 I've put as one of the symbols, and 938 is the other. So these 6 colours are on that thread palette, and then I've just added in 007 beige, just as I said, just to give it a bit of a break from the intense colour and stuff. But yeah, that's the colour palette there, which is, you know, right up my alley. So, and I've got this 40 count mallow, because it needs a really huge piece of fabric. It needs, this is 19 inches square, so of course it's too wide for a fat quarter. That's to give it a 2.5 inch border, so I haven't overlocked it yet. But that is going to be fun. So we'll start that probably in a couple of weeks once, just waiting for Christine to be ready. So yay, that's the next sort of 3 weeks sorted. That's all I've got really. How hard is it to not start like more than one thing? I like totally look in my box. I'm like, I really want to just stitch more of these things. It's like, no, one a week on average. There may be a week to come where I stitch more than one thing. But yeah, that's pretty much the plans for the next couple of weeks. I've gone on and on about random shit, haven't I? Especially my Bruce Willis cassette. Like, I just can't bear to get rid of these because you don't get these pictures. You don't. I love the like the, what do you call them? The liner notes. The 1989 this came out, so I was 17 and then took these off to uni with me. So I still have these cassettes. I still have these 2 cassettes just because nostalgia, right? It's my little. Anyway, who knew me? I am very. When I'm passionate about something, I'm passionate about something. I mean, come on, look at his little face. Oh my God, terrible. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up now before you'll think I've gone completely around the bend. And get this edited, get it up, and get started on Panoply of Peacocks. So hopefully I'll get several motifs stitched for next week. Yeah, I'll see you all then. Be safe. Be safe, keep well, and as always, don't let your needles rust. Ciao.